What if pain isn't the problem, but actually the pathway back to you? You're listening to The Leadership Wound, From Pain to Permission. I'm Amanda Rohr, your host and founder of Authentically You, coaching for embodied spiritual living and leading. This is where we get honest about the real cost of leadership, the burnout, the pretending, the rejection, and the return to your authentic self. Because this isn't about performance, it's about permission. Welcome to the leader you've always been.
This is where truth comes back again. It's the returning. God is the one who opens and closes the doors of our life. If we believe that God is the good shepherd, that he is leading us to peace, to green meadows, along the streams. If we believe that God is the one who opens and closes the doors, and that what God has prepared for us no one can take away, then there is peace. So if this is from God, you don't have to force it, and you don't have to defend it. Welcome back to The Leadership Wound. I'm Amanda Rohr, your host and founder of Authentically You, coaching for embodied spiritual living and leading. We're in the middle of a series entitled When God Plants a Vision in You. And today's episode 4, and I've entitled it When Vision Looks Strange Before It Makes Sense. And you step into it anyways. In the previous episode, we talked about Mary of Bethany, about what it looks like to recognize something before you can fully explain it, and how she saw something that no one else in the room could see, and she responded to it. Not because it made sense to her, but because it was real to her. And today I want to move this conversation out of the room and into real life, because at some point, discernment turns into a decision. And recognition turns into movement. Mary didn't just sense something internally. She actually acted on it. She stepped into the invisible, making it visible. Something that was costly. Something that others could now respond to. And the moment she did that, everything changed in the room. Because now what had been internal was external. And that's where things get real for all of us as leaders and entrepreneurs. I want to come back to the moment again, because this is where it gets incredibly practical and real for us. Mary and the disciples are standing in the exact same room, but they are seeing two different realities. Mary looks at Jesus and she sees the one who has changed her life. She sees the one who has taught her, the one who saw her fully, the one who had just called her brother back from the dead. She sees compassion, power, presence, and the relationship that he has with herself and others. She is responding out of love and gratitude and recognition. She's not calculating. She's not evaluating. She's not asking, what's the most efficient use of this oil in my alabaster jar? Instead, she's saying, Jesus, you are worth everything. Now, the disciples, on the other hand, they're looking at the same moment, but they're seeing something completely different. They're thinking, this could have been sold. This is expensive oil. This could have fed many, many people. This could have made a bigger impact. And again, it's not bad thinking. It's practical. It's logical. It's outcome driven. But it misses something deeply because they're evaluating the moment through impact, efficiency, and logic, while Mary is responding through love, encounter, intimacy, and relationship. And this is the tension. What looks wise to others can miss what is aligned in the moment. And this is where it gets real for me and Doug as we go out on this business venture, this new, hairy, audacious goal that God placed before us. Because at some point, Doug and I had to move from sensing the vision, the goal, to stepping into it. From this might be something that we're sensing and feeling to, oh my gosh, we're actually going to move forward. We're actually going to sell everything and buy the field where the treasure is planted, as the parable says. And one of those moments was signing the agreement to purchase the property. The space that had been a staple in the Palmyra community for over 40 years, formerly known as Cinderella's, that was just a business decision, but it was also a faith step. And I want to be honest about that because stepping into something like that doesn't come with full clarity. It doesn't come with zero risks or complete understanding as we step into it, but it does come with alignment as long as you've done the internal work. And I'm very aware of how something like this could look from the outside. It could look like, that's a lot. That's a big move. That seems risky. There's a big shift if I ever saw one. How does all of this even connect? People might be saying. A boutique, a cafe, coaching, a microchurch. It doesn't all neatly fit into one category. And that's exactly where this connects back to Mary. Because when something doesn't make sense to others, the temptation is to over-examine your decisions. Did I hear right? Am I thinking clearly? Over-justify or completely just pull back from the whole thing and try to make it more acceptable or palatable for other people, more logical, more easy to understand for the outsider. But Mary didn't change her response to match the room of those who were there. No, all she saw was her and Jesus. She didn't say, let me tone this down. Maybe I'll just pour a quarter of the bottle in for this might not make sense for everybody else. She doesn't dilute the act. She stays aligned with what she'd recognized internally, at what she felt stirred to do. And this is where I want to speak directly to those of you who are listening, who are stepping into something new like Doug and I. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a shift, maybe it's a ministry calling, maybe it's something completely different than what you even thought. Maybe it's breaking off a relationship. Maybe it's going forward in a different direction. Maybe it's a calling that doesn't fully make sense yet. And you're feeling the tension between being wise stewards of the gifts and talents and finances that you have, but also being obedient. Because you can see something is forming, but not everyone else can. So instead of asking, does this make sense to everyone else around me? What if the better question could be, am I moving in alignment with what God has made clear to me at this point and this junction? And this is where truth comes back again. It's the returning. God is the one who opens and closes the doors of our life. If we believe that God is the good shepherd, that he is leading us to peace, to green meadows, along the streams. If we believe that God is the one who opens and closes the doors, and that what God has prepared for us, no one can take away, then there is peace. So if this is from God, you don't have to force it, and you don't have to defend it. And I also want to make this practical. Stepping out does not always look like you're fully confident or that you have the whole picture, that you have certainty and clarity for every single turn along the way. Sometimes it looks like just taking the next step, signing the paper, having the conversation, doing the research, saying yes before you can figure it all out on your own. And this is important. This is not about being impulsive because it's not reckless. This is not about chasing ideas. This is not about ignoring wisdom. This is about moving forward with alignment as God lights the path, the step before you. And for me, the marker has been this. Not does this make perfect sense, but rather, is there peace along with this in this step? Is there consistency? Is there confirmation? Is this still the thing that hasn't gone away deep within me? So I want to ask you on your own journey, where are you sensing something right now that might require a step like this? Where are you sensing that you don't have the whole plan, but you just have the next step? Because in the next episode, we're going to talk about this. What happens after you step? How do you begin to actually build something without losing the heart of what God gave you? How do you move from vision to structure, from discernment to design? Thanks for tuning in to The Leadership Wound. I'm so glad that you're along with us on this journey. I'm excited to continue it with you. If you're ready to stop performing and start leading authentically, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I'd love to work with you if you're an entrepreneur, a leader, or just someone who feels the stirring of a God-given vision. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or sign up for my free 30-minute growth plan consult. It's just a conversation to start thinking about, where is God forming me? Until next time, lead like you. If you've been sensing you're ready for the next step, more clarity, more living and leading with peace and freedom, then start here. Download your free Authentic Leadership Starter Bundle at AuthenticLeadershipCollective.com, including 10 traps that keep leaders stuck, an 8-minute morning meditation to reconnect with God, plus practical tools to realign with your true self. And if you want support turning this into real lived change so you can live and lead like you, book a free call with me so you can begin today living and leading authentically.